Now, a legal battle is underway following controversial plans by the Home Office to process around 5,000 migrants at a former RAF base in Lincolnshire. Councillors were told that 2,000 men, mainly from Iraq, Iran and Afghanistan, would be housed at RAF Scampton at any one time. The first would come in the autumn from a former detention centre in Kent. Here's a reminder of the story so far.
The government hasn't denied that it's close to agreeing a deal to use RAF Scampton near Lincoln to hold migrants.
The Immigration Minister is working intensively to secure sustainable asylum accommodation.
They are looking at it, and obviously I object very strongly.
Our history is getting thrown away for people who are illegal immigrants.
Today I can confirm new large sites will open at Wethersfield and Scampton, with hundreds moving in over the summer and nearly 3,000 by the autumn.
A lot of people are going to be upset. Like, what does this mean now?
They're going to stamp on their memories, and it's disgraceful.
How can the government ensure the health of 2,000 migrants, given the fact the site is riddled with asbestos?
To actually have you come here and listen, it means a lot, because we feel like somebody's noticed.
They want to start thinking about the people that live here, not the ones that want to live here.
Well, the Gainsborough MP, Sir Edward Lee, you saw him there in that roundup, he's told the House of Commons that the base is unsuitable because of asbestos. So I asked him what evidence he had of this.
Well, we've actually put down a parliamentary question asking the government will release the material data sheets showing where there is asbestos, and they're refusing to release them. Why are they refusing to release them? Well, there's private information from people working on the site that there is asbestos. It'd be amazing if there wasn't. These are 100 decaying buildings, a 2-mile-long runway. As far as we know, the government hasn't even started doing surveys, although they're talking about putting migrants in there in August. There has to be full public disclosure. You can't. The government has a duty of care to migrants. You can't put 2,000 migrants in a place with a risk of contamination. We know there's contamination from aircraft use, and we strongly suspect there's contamination from asbestos, and the government are refusing to release any information, indeed if they have any information.
So at the moment you're still waiting to see the paperwork, so there is no actual physical hard evidence of the asbestos problem?
No, because they're refusing to tell us. We put down a formal parliamentary question and they're refusing to tell us whether there is or not, although there's private information that there is. Indeed, given the age and dilapidation of the buildings and when they were constructed or last repaired, it'd be extraordinary if there wasn't.
Does that mean any local residents are at risk here if it's an unknown quantity, whether it's asbestos blowing around or perhaps contained in roofing panels, things like that? Are people living nearby, should they be concerned?
I don't think they should be concerned about asbestos. You would actually be living in the building or working in the building. So I think the concern would be that the government may have is that they can't get this show off the ground if there's proof of asbestos in these buildings. I mean, I think they would just be, as I said in the floor of the House only this week, they could be taken to the Court of Human Rights on it.
We've seen other schemes to house migrants on former A bases fall apart, like the one at Linton on Ouse. Some on your own team might say this is very convenient, this claim is coming forward right now when this plan has surfaced.
Well, you know, obviously we're doing everything we can to stop this. We don't agree with it. It's holding up £300 million worth of regeneration. And that's why West Lindsey organised this deal, because they wanted to get on with the massive amount of regeneration these buildings need. And if you have 2,000 migrants parked there for 2 years, then no regeneration will happen. I mean, I've been there recently. I'm going back there tomorrow. The grass is already growing. It's looking even more dilapidated. So, I mean, it's not, you know, obviously we want to get the information out of the government of what's going on. And that's our duty, to represent local people and ensure also that it's a safe place to live.
Presumably that asbestos then is also going to delay and add expense to the regeneration plans for the site.
Well, you know, it's going to delay it. It will probably stymie it altogether because it would take months or years. I mean, the government are claiming this as an emergency, although this crisis has been carrying on for a long time. And so if it's an emergency, it's an emergency. You know, why are they still not carrying out proper surveys? Why has no work been done of any, as far as we know? I mean, what's going on here? They're refusing to answer questions on the floor of the House.
Sir Edward Lee, thank you for your time this afternoon. Now, in a statement, the Home Office wouldn't comment further on any claims about the site, but it did say these accommodation sites will house asylum seekers in basic, safe and secure accommodation as they await a decision on their claim. We understand the concerns of local communities and will work closely with councils and key partners to manage the impact of using these sites, including liaising with local police to make sure appropriate arrangements are in place.